myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Jeter ends his final game with a walk-off single.
Here's the drive to left. That one is long gone.
Welcome to the Long Gone Podcast. It's me, Michael, and with me as always, S-Man.
What up?
Steve Ford.
How's it going, man?
What's up, man?
Got some snow?
Got a lot of snow. What was that song? I was like, man,
It's Paul
what's that?
Anka.
Who?
It's Paul Anka. It's Paul Anka. Put your head on my shoulder.
Put your hand.
Your head on. Yeah. How about that, huh?
No, there it is. We'll catch you next
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, catch you guys next week. Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays.
But yeah, we got some snow here too. Not as much as y'all up in the UP, but it's picking up here. I got to make the drive to Detroit here on Thursday. I'm not looking forward to driving in this weather, but hopefully it should let up by tomorrow morning. So buckle up.
Yeah, snow's coming fast and heavy in the Midwest for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Insane. Coming fast and heavy as well are trades.
Good segue right there.
No,
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, we did. We've got our first couple of trades happening here. Marcus Semien goes to the Mets. I'm looking on bovadasportsbook.com, and that didn't quite move the needle as much as I thought it would in regards to the Mets. They now have the fourth best odds to win it all for this coming season at a plus 1,300. But was it a straight up trade with the Rangers there? Semien to the Mets, Nimmo to the Rangers.
Right.
Two old farts, right?
Two old farts, man. Getting rid of them. A lot of people are kind of upset about mostly Ranger fans. And, well, actually, I should say both. I've kind of got the temperature from both teams right now, fan base, and Mets are kind of mad. They didn't want to get rid of Nimmo. And
I mean, he's been a Met for what, 10 years?
He's been a Met for a long time. Nimmo's a good guy, man. I mean, he kind of reminds me of like a Brent Rooker type, maybe not as dynamic, but I mean, he's that guy that can get you those extra base hits that you need.
Yeah.
He has run power, not a liability in the field or on the bases. But so the Mets were like, man, why would we get rid of Nimmo especially for a large contract that Marcus Semien has? And I believe it's Semien's last year. So it's kind of a low risk, possibly high reward for the Mets, right?
Yeah. Oh, for
and
sure.
Then you have the Ranger fans freaking out because the Ranger fans are like, are we selling? Like, are we just done? Is this like we're out of our World Series push? And then suddenly you see rumors now that like Corey Seager wants to be traded, which I don't know if that's even true, but you see rumors.
Corey Seager could injure himself just saying that he wants to get traded.
I know. Right? No, but to me, he's the Carlos Correa of Texas. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Carlos Correa is a Carlos Correa of Texas.
Yeah,
he's in Houston now.
Yeah.
But I mean, just a guy that has superb astronomical potential, but is constantly injured all the time. Yeah. I kind of like line him up to like almost like a Dale Murphy type of player. But
that's a good comp.
Yeah, right. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Crazy trade. I guess winners and losers. Who would you think give? I guess not winners and losers. Let's do trade. Let's do grade. What would you give a grade for each of that for the team in that?
I'd give the honestly, I'd give the Mets like I'd give him a C.
Okay.
Just because I haven't seen Marcus Semien hasn't been productive offensively since like 2023.
Yeah,
and he's definitely been on that World Series year. I mean, he's still a solid defensive second baseman, but offensively he's just kind of been so I'd give them like a C. Nimmo, for Texas, I mean, they're getting a very high quality player there. They're getting an older player. I'd give him a B, honestly.
Okay.
I'm okay with it because he's at least still shown flashes offensively. This is a guy that's hit 20 plus home runs the last 3 seasons. Average wise, he's 270. He's still got offensive power. He's getting a little bit older here as he's pushing into his mid 30s, but still has some better pop in his bat than Semien. So I'd give the Rangers a B on this. What say you?
I would say I would give the Mets I'd actually give them a B- on it.
Okay.
I actually don't hate it. I think they've always wanted to move Jeff McNeil out of second base. and they wanted a guy that's not a defensive liability. They didn't want to get somebody like Luis Ariz or somebody, because that guy defensively is like a horrible defenseman, but
Right.
you get him for his bat, but I think Marcus Semien makes a lot of sense at second base, especially with Lindor. And if he can return his power, right? Because you're getting Marcus Semien kind of like, he's 35 years old. He's in his mid 30s. So, didn't have like an amazing year last year, like you said. 2023 was kind of like his last good year. But I actually like the fit just because it moves McNeil to the outfield. You can almost put him at DH if you're not putting like Soto there or somebody else, or Mauricio or Ronnie Mauricio or somebody like that there. I actually don't mind the fit there. And we already know the Mets don't really care about money, right? So I think it's it's a good move because Brandon Nimmo, I think he wasn't falling out of favor at all.
Right.
But I think if you're looking at a guy to move, I think Nimmo just made a little bit more sense because you're not getting rid of Brett Batty unless it's like a crazy deal. You're not getting rid of Lindor. You're not, obviously Soto's there for the long haul. So that made a little bit more sense. They know they're going to have to perfect that rotation. They're going to have to perfect the bullpen coming in the offseason. But I think this is a small enough move to bring in a little bit extra bat. And some people say they're going to have to bring in more power because people think they're losing Pete Alonso. So if you need to replace that power, I think this could be a move, right? So I'll give them a B-. Now for the Rangers, I'm going to give them... I think this actually is a very good move for them. I'm going to give them a B+. I don't think anybody's really an A here. I think if Jock Peterson performed well offensively last year, I think this move would have never happened. But they need somebody with a better bat out there. I thought the Jake Berger deal of last year was a great deal for the Rangers. I solidified that first base right spot, and they can move Josh Smith at second base easily, or Cody Freeman or Duran or somebody like that. That's not going to be a liability. But yeah, I give them a B+ just because it's an outfield that I think is not bad. It's a really good. It's a good outfield, and I think honestly, I don't think either team's losing or gaining tons. I think Simeon's more of insurance, and then Nimmo is solidifying an outfield that needs a little bit more bats out there, and which cues me to believe that if there is money to be spent in Texas and New York, it's going to be in different place. It's going to be towards the pitching. They're going to put more towards their pitching. So B+, B-. Yep.
Okay. So we're very similar. Definitely not an A on any side. So
no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Now moving over to Sonny Gray. I was actually surprised to see this deal go down with the St. Louis Cardinals.
Shock, yeah.
It wasn't like a crazy great deal. I the only thing I could see, it was more of like a move money kind of thing.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Right. Sonny Gray goes over to the Red Sox and they're going to have to pay his $20 million a year. Yep. The Cardinals receive Richard Fitz and Brandon Clark, right? Some younger guys. I get it, but I don't understand it just because Fitz and Brandon Clark, and to me, are mostly unproven. And the Cardinals, Sonny Gray was their best pitcher, right? So, and if we go back to 24, the Cardinals actually needed pitching. That's why they got Sonny Gray for 25. So, I think on the Cardinals end, I give it just a C+ because I like Fitz and I like Clark, but I just don't know if it moves the needle. I like that it's righty lefty. Two different pitchers. Yeah. I give them I'll give them a C+. And the Red Sox, I think I'm going to give it an A- just because I think it brings it. I think they think that they're not going to be in the Tarek Skubal sweepstakes.
Right.
Even though a lot of people thought they were going to be, but I think they wouldn't make this move if they were going to get Tarek Skubal. I just wouldn't see that happening, especially when you're paying Sonny Gray $20 million, which isn't a lot, but I think the Red Sox have been kind of strapping in a little bit, a little more, not spending overly. So I think this is part of them making their rotation a hell of a lot better. So I give them an A- because I think Sonny Gray has a lot left in the tank.
I do too.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I'd give the Red Sox an A. Just picking up Sonny Gray, serviceable pitcher. The guy, double-digit wins the last few years. Cy Young runner-up a couple of years ago with Minnesota. Just a great pitcher. I think he'll be a great fit in Boston because, he wins wherever he goes, it seems like. So I'm very, very happy with Boston for that move. St. Louis, I don't know what the hell they're doing, to be honest with you. I mean, what's the next move here? You're going to start looking at Arenado traded again, or what's going to happen here? So I'm going to give them like a
I
C.
think I think that they made it clear they're going to trade Arenado.
Mm-hmm.
And what I heard, what I seen was Arenado is going to like waive his no trade clause list, or he's just going to be like open it up, which I thought he was kind of stupid. I shouldn't say he was stupid for doing that. I thought he was. I don't understand why he didn't want to go to Houston last year, and I don't understand why he was limiting the teams that he would want to go to, just because Cardinals wanted to rebuild like last year. I don't understand why he put the kibosh in that. It's cool that he likes St. Louis, but I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. Mostly people were saying that maybe he didn't want to move because he didn't want to move his family.
I get that.
I mean, I could see that.
But, it's a business. The family family obviously can stay, and he moved them after the season. But,
Yeah.
I'm not in his shoes, so I don't know really how it goes. But,
Yeah, and he's a multimillionaire, right? So it's like you could buy houses anywhere you fucking want. But obviously at his point in his career too, he wants to go to a contender, I'm sure. ESPN put out, I think it was ESPN or MLB.com, one of the two. They put out most likely Arenado destinations. And they ranked every team, like where would it be? And obviously the ones in the back half were like that weren't even gonna probably be
Pirates.
a possibility. We're like going back to the Rockies, the Pirates, the Chicago White Sox. I don't think he would love those trades just because at this point he wants to win a championship. He would love going back to the Rockies if they were a contender, but at this point they're just a young team kind of figuring out where they're going to go. So that didn't make a lot of sense. But in the front half, the top 10, I mean, you had the Tigers at 4.
Okay.
You had the Yankees up there because the Yankees aren't thrilled with their third baseman and Oswaldo Cabrera still. So
right.
You had a lot of those teams, the Red Sox, if they move on from Bregman, things like that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, St. Louis is definitely on a rebuild type trajectory now, especially if they're getting rid of their top pitcher right here. They're gonna put all their chips in for Miles Michaelis, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's one guy who just loves St. Louis, and St. Louis can't quit him, even though they should quit him. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I will say this for a prediction for St. Louis. If they move on from Oliver Morimoyle, they really like him, Oliver Morimoyle, but if they move on from him, look for Albert Pujols to take that job.
That would be dope.
I think it's
you heard
lined
it here
up for
first,
him to possibly
folks.
take that job.
All right.
I think it's lined up perfectly. I think everybody thought he'd get a West Coast job. Didn't happen. Why, I don't know. But I think the Cardinals would embrace somebody like Pujols coming back in manager form.
Oh, that'd be dope.
I think it'd be great. I think it's great for a young team for a guy like that to take over.
He has better luck than Alan Trammell and tried to manage the Tigers, right?
Yeah. Well, we could look back, right, and look at all the crappy, managers that from player to manager who you thought would be awesome. I mean, look at Rocco Baldelli. Look at some of those guys that just never quite panned out.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting. Moving over, something, Steve, that we haven't talked about, and I don't even know if you can look on Bovada and be like, yep, I'm sure this will be
eventually
a thing you can eventually bet on, but we're talking about the WPBL, the Women's Professional Baseball League. They probably should have shortened that up a little bit. One of these, I feel like it was a total missed opportunity. We know it's a pro league, so no sense putting pro in there. Why didn't they just go
WBL?
Right.
Yeah.
Or WLB, Women's League Baseball. So you know what I mean? I don't know, man. They unveiled their first 4 teams.
At the draft. Is it San Francisco, New York, Boston? What's the fourth one? LA, of course.
LA, yeah. Why these cities makes the most sense, right? I mean, it just, if you're going to start a franchise, that's what Steve, you and I from the beginning, we've always said we're a baseball first podcast.
We are.
Wherever they're playing baseball, we're talking about it, right?
Yep.
And we do that, and that's and this is a story, and I think it's a story that's to me, I think it's pretty historic because we haven't really had a true women's professional baseball league since the 40s.
Yeah. Yep. With the
right?
league of their own type stuff, right?
Yeah, baby, league of their own, and the first number 1 pick in their history was Kelsie Whitmore.
Yeah, she was. I mean, her accomplishments are massive here for what she's done. She's been on the Savannah Bananas,
Which is cool.
Dude, that's really dope. She's on the Savannah Bananas, but
Yeah.
I mean, she definitely. I think she's going to be a the face, so to speak, of this women's professional baseball league. So dope that she is the the first pick here, and I think it's kind of a no brainer. And to be honest with you, so.
I think it is too, man. I mean, she's, relatively young for the most part.
27.
I mean, 27, right? I mean, this league, before it kind of establishes itself, it has to see where it fits in the landscape of professional sports. I mean, you and I have seen the WNBA. They're fighting and clawing. I mean, bro, and the fact that they want more money, turn a profit first. I've never seen a league so against making money but wants money.
Right.
It's like, your moneymaker is Caitlin Clark, right?
Yep.
You have the rivalry between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, but yet the league the players want to treat Caitlin Clark like shit. It's like, this is your star. Embrace it. And instead of doing that, they're like, no. We're going to double down on the non-making money aspects of it. And now what are they talking about? Oh, we could hold out. It's like,
hold out. Good.
Okay.
All right.
Good luck.
Yeah. Godspeed. I when WNBA came out there in the late 90s, I even said to myself, I was like, there's no way this thing's going to stay in business for a long time. So
No.
I'm completely shocked that it's still around, especially since I've never seen the turn a profit.
Well, WNBA, and since we're talking about the Women's Professional Baseball League, the WPBL, say that a million. That's going to be hard to say.
Yeah.
A lot. But where they can succeed, Steve, is marketing.
Yep.
The NBA does not know how to market its players. They don't know how to market its stars. I think Major League Baseball is just figuring out how to market their stars.
Yep.
Right? I mean, you have Aaron Judge, Ohtani. You have a great way to market your stars. And they're taking pages right out of what the NFL is doing. And the one thing the WPBL can do that the NBA is not doing is learn how to market your stars, right? Because Whitmore is supposed to be like the Ohtani.
Right.
Right. She can pitch. She's an outfielder. She hits from both sides of the plate. She's kind of a dominant person, right? And I mean, a dominant kind of player. And I think if they're going to ride on her back, like, okay, we need a star. I think it's like Dottie Henson was for the fucking Rockford Peaches in League of Their Own.
Yep.
You ride with the stars, man.
Yep, 100%. And they gotta market the hell out of her. And if they continue, if they market their players like they should, like MLB does it, just take a page on what MLB is doing, who's taking a page on what NFL has done, this league's gonna be just fine.
I totally agree. And you got to market them. You got to put them everywhere.
Yep.
Right. That was something that Major League Baseball, before Ohtani came, they kind of suffered from. They had stars, but there was really no stars, right? I mean, their biggest star was Mike Trout, and Mike Trout wasn't a marketable guy because he doesn't hate the media, but he's more of like I don't want to be in the cameras all the time. I want to be in the spotlight. I want to go hunt. I want to go back home. I want to,
spend time
especially for a guy that, right. Especially for a guy that lives in LA or, that plays for LA. You want to market them. And I remember a lot of people were saying, Rob Manfred was like, well, we want to market him, but he's just not letting us market him. So now with Ohtani and Aaron Judge and some of these other stars, Paul Skeens and Tarek Skubal, you're seeing guys that's like, no, yeah, we're marketing the fuck out of them. So you see them in commercials, you see them getting endorsement deals. If Kelsie Whitmore and the WPBL are smart, they would very much, Kelsie should take the reins of that and just ride with it. And they should just, and then that's where you start marketing rivalries. Who's her rival, right? You got 4 teams. You can make a great rivalry. Maybe it's LA versus San Francisco or Boston, and make them hate each other and create that, right? Yeah. And I think
let's start some rumors, all right?
Let's start some rumors. Kelsie Whitmore's been sleeping with everybody now. You don't want the wrong rumors, no. But you want. Rumor. You think of some of the greatest. I mean, this could be a hook. Hook it. Some of the greatest marketing in sports history was. We can name a bunch of them, right? This should be a top 10 list one day. look at Bird Magic of the 80s.
Yep.
The great marketing that took place back then, and the NBA capitalized off of it.
Yep.
I mean,
literally saved
that's
the
what you
NBA.
got to do.
You know,
Shaq, Kobe hating each other. That was such
that was beautiful.
That was, even though they probably didn't, that was such a story that people just, and the fact that they won, even though supposedly they didn't like each other,
put
the
differences
NBA
aside,
wrote off
still
that.
won. Yep.
Oh my God, dude.
Reggie Miller and the New York Knicks. You know, just
Reggie Miller and the Knicks, dude, right? Yep. Isaiah Thomas versus everybody. The super teams, like when LeBron in Miami and that. So we're talking NBA. I mean, baseball has a bunch of their own too, right? I mean, look at the Boston Red Sox. I mean, they're pushed from how they weren't a World Series winning team in almost 100 years, and then suddenly 04 comes.
Yep.
Everybody was rooting for them. Chicago Cubs back in 16.
Yep. White Sox.
You just have stories.
Yep.
White Sox. Just the stories you can get behind that make, I mean, you just need stuff like that in order to have a successful league. And I think the MPBL should really, I'd start hiring marketing execs from these leagues and be like, dude, let's create something here. And that's how you're going to succeed and just to make this league worth it.
Yep.
And it starts with Kelsie Whitmore. I really do believe that.
Yep. Just got to be out there front and center. Get those sponsorships going, have her be on all those commercials, like what they do with Ohtani, like they did for an extent where we got to make fun of Julio Rodriguez and his great acting. Take a page from there and just get them out there.
Ride it, man. I think who would have been a great marketing gem was Tatis before the steroid gig. Before the steroids fucked him.
He would have been awesome, man.
Notice how everybody's kind of staying away from him now.
Yep. Yeah, once you get labeled the PED user, it kind of blacklists you a little bit when it comes to marketing.
100% does, Steve. 100% does. And our last headline of the day.
Yeah, Hall of Fame.
Went into Hall of Fame. You and I talk about this near the end of every year.
Yep.
We got the 26th ballot. Got to be honest, not looking great.
I was, dude. I was prepping for the show, and because I saw you having the rundown, the ballot, and who gets in and why. And I'm not going to be honest with you here, Mike. I was looking at the list. I see a whole bunch of turds. All right.
Yeah. This where do we start with this list? The 25. Well, it's interesting because you got the 2025 era committee ballot, right? Which, and then you got which they vote on this year. And then you get the 26 Hall of Fame ballot, who gets in next year, which is voted on this year. Very weird.
Yeah.
Anyways, so they got to pick somebody from that they might pick somebody from who's eligible for the Hall of Fame class. Do you have that list up by chance?
I do. Yeah.
Name some people offhand, and maybe we just say where they're getting. Beltran's on that list, but he's not a first timer.
Yeah, Carlos Beltran. We got Andrew Jones, A-Rod. He's on there. Yeah, I know. A-Rod would be the best if he wasn't painting Mr. Steroids. Manny's on there.
Manny.
I'm looking. You got some first timers there. I saw Rick Porcello's on the fucking list.
We got some first timers here.
Got some first timers here, guy. All right. Torrey Hunter. He's on the ballot for. I can't remember what exact year, but dude, I'm looking at it. I can't see anyone sneaking in. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just
is Cole Hamels on that list?
If he's not, he should be right now.
I mean,
he is. Yeah.
It's pretty bad. I mean, Beltran, Jones, Utley, no. But as for first timers, I'm just looking at first timers real quick. Yeah. Cole Hamels is about the best one. Ryan Braun, he totally went out when he blamed the steroid people for mixing up his sample. Remember that?
Yeah.
And then he came out, he was lying. It's like, oh, you fucked yourself.
Oh God. Yeah. Oh my God.
Not good, bro.
No, it's not. Andy Pettit. I mean, it's not his first year on here, but
I like Andy Pettit, but yeah.
David
Not
Wright.
good.
David Wright's third year on the ballot. So K-Rod.
Yeah.
I'm
a guy that will be in the Kansas City Royals Hall of Fame, but not in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame is Alex Gordon. Definitely a Kansas City legend, but not a guy that you're probably going to get in there. Cole Hamels is probably the best out of the first-timers.
So, yeah. Yep.
But, I mean, you and we always talk about our benchmarks, especially for pitchers. You need at least 3,000 strikeouts. Got to be an under 4 ERA. Have to be. Or you're going to have 300-plus wins.
Yep. And
Cole Hamels gets the 3.43 ERA, but that's almost like a batting average for hitters, right? The benchmark, you better be hitting 300 if you got nothing else. And then you go for the accolades. He was great in postseason, great postseason pitcher. And LCS got MVP, the World Series MVP, 4-time All-Star. But yeah, unfortunately, Cole Hamels will probably be one of the greatest southpaws the Phillies ever had in their Hall of Fame, but not in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame.
I'm still laughing at Ryan Braun.
I know. I can blame somebody else.
Well, Mr. Parrott, though, Edwin Encarnacion, he's first year on the ballot, too.
Which is crazy. If I'm being completely honest, Steve, didn't even know he was retired. Totally forgot about him. Totally. You ever see that in like rosters? You're like, dude, this guy's still playing? Like, what?
Or it's like, or when someone dies and you thought they were dead already.
Yeah. Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah. Or when you think they're dead, but it turns out they're still alive, like me with Wayne Newton.
Yeah. Like, wait, really?
Like I heard him, I was like, Wayne Newton, R.I.P. I look it up. I was like, wait, he's still alive? Like, oh, come on.
And there's like a lot of guys I like on this ballot, even but not just the first timers. I mean, I like Felix the King Hernandez, but he just didn't put up. He just didn't have enough, right?
You could be in our forgotten series.
Andy Pettit, David Wright, Mets legend, but not a Hall of Famer.
Not a Hall of Famer. Mark Burley, White Sox legend, not a Hall of Famer.
Dustin Pedroia, one of the greatest leaders Boston ever had. He was their Derek Jeter.
Yep.
Still not a
Hall of Famer. Nope.
I'm going to check out some Jimmy Rollins here while we're talking about this, because I remember Jimmy Rollins had some pretty decent stats.
Old Jimmy Rollins, huh?
Old Jimmy Rollins, let me tell you. Yeah, he just
Jimmy Rollins, I think he was one of the first analysts on MLB Network when MLB Network came out. Did you know that?
Be fired? No.
Yeah. He was probably eventually fired or he moved on. But yeah, I think he was one of their first.
Harold Reynolds are giving those special hugs out.
those adult hugs. God.
He was handing Jimmy bucks out.
Oh boy. I mean, he had that one MVP season 2007. You know, very solid defensive defensive player here. Multiple Gold Gloves. When you get four of them. Silver Slugger. Phillies Hall of Fame? Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Baseball's Hall of Fame? Hell no.
A tough one. I used to love this guy growing up, but he just doesn't have the stats, is Andrew Jones. I mean,
Andrew Jones, yep.
If he could have got to 500 home runs, I mean, even sniffed it like McGriff.
254 average, right?
It's a tough one, man. He just doesn't have the benchmarks. You need 1,500 RBIs or over 300 average and or 500 home runs. And he almost had 2,000 hits.
He's a Hall of very close.
3,000s.
Yeah.
Not hitting our benchmarks. 10-time Gold Glove, right? But we're not just, it's not about just the accolades.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's great and all. But, I mean, 5-time All-Star, said 10-time Gold Glove winner. He didn't win an MVP. Nope. And he didn't hit any of the benchmarks that we're looking at here. 1,900 plus hits. Didn't hit 500. His average sucked.
Right.
Didn't come close to 1,500 RBIs. I mean, he, didn't even get to 1,300. So,
yeah.
Hall of very good.
And the only reason Carlos Beltran has the stats is because he said, "Fuck it, I'm just going to keep playing."
He did.
I mean, dude,
you're gonna wheel his ass off the field at the end of it. It seemed like
that's basically what it was like at the end with the Astros. Hey, great, right? Rookie of the year, 9-time All-Star, 3-time Gold Glove. Okay, you could start a conversation, but then it's the over 1,500 RBIs. So I do think eventually he should get in the Hall of Fame because that is a good benchmark. But I don't know what ballot is this. What ballot is this for him? His second?
It's fourth, dude, yeah.
How many do you need? How many do you have to be out on before you go to the Eras Committee?
Well, I think fall off the ballot. So is it down to 10 years now on the ballot instead of? 15?
Is this Manny's last time then? Manny Ramirez?
I think it's Manny's last year. Yeah, and then I think you get a little bit of time before the Eras Committee. Because you look at some of the people that are on the Eras Committee, they're mostly from 80s into the 90s, right? So probably have to wait a few years again, before you get resurfaced again on the Eras Committee. So
Manny would have been such a good fucking person to get in the Hall of Fame if he didn't do steroids.
Yep. Same thing with A-Rod. Same thing with Bonds. If you can just take the Pittsburgh Pirates or, the start of his Giants career, then he's a surefire. He would have been in the Hall of Fame a long time ago,
Yeah, but then you got to ask yourself, like, would he have had the same stats, right? I mean,
he won multiple MVPs without the
roids.
roids. He was a Gold Glove player. He had the power. He just wasn't getting the spotlight like McGuire and Sosa were, and so he gave in, I guess, to temptations. But he would have made it without it, dude. I mean, I forgot. He's won 7 MVPs. How many do you win with the Pirates?
Yeah,
and even into the Giants.
Manny's a tough one because it's like you had over 500 home runs. You had the batting average. You obliterated RBIs. Did them so well.
Same thing with A-Rod, dude.
I mean,
A-Rod has over 2,000 RBIs, almost 700 home runs, 295 average.
Willie Mays, yeah. Yep. Yeah, A-Rod should be in. I mean, if it wasn't for the roids. It's a tough one, bro. I always have a hard time with that one just because, they shouldn't get in, obviously, for those reasons. And if Bonds gets in on this for the Errors Committee, that's just going to be a gateway.
Open the door, dude. And then Roger Clemens is coming in, right? Arguably,
Roger's coming in. Manny will eventually be in there. A-Rod, Sosa, all those guys.
Yep.
McGuire. Then you'll see a floodgate, which I don't know. To me, I want to say, I would like to say the Hall of Fame is the one thing that isn't tainted in baseball, but it's tainted. It already is tainted because, just look. You and I, when we do the birthday segments, there's so many guys that shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame that are in the Hall of Fame.
How many times do we laugh at it, right?
And it's not because they took roids. No, it's because they just were breathing or something. They won a World Series and had a good catch. You know what I mean? These guys
hit a walk-off home run. Like Mazeroski.
They didn't understand the prestigiousness, and they had a lot of friends on the committee. I think that's
bingo. A lot of friends on the Veterans Committee.
Yep, I think that's where where you win and lose, and that's an interesting one. That's an interesting one indeed. But you and I, man, we could talk all day about this topic. Moving on. Today, it's a Thanksgiving week. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving.
Gotta get my stretchy pants on.
Yeah, me too, man. I think tomorrow's the one day I'll cheat a year.
Put those,
getting healthy.
Get some carbs. Your body's gonna be like, "What the fuck is this?" And then you're gonna have massive craps. Yeah,
I'll be like, I'll eat it. I'm like, oh no,
oh no.
I get like 6 months later.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, he's back. You like fell off the wagon.
I'm like, ridiculously fell off.
Hey guys.
Hey guys. Give me that.
Hey, how's the bullpen going? The what exactly? All right.
Exactly. Do they have cake?
They have cake. Oh my god.
See, we do this every year.
Yep.
We do a top 5 with an honorable mention in there. Give me your top 5. You can do honorable mention, however you want to do this, and I'll just follow your lead. What are you thankful for this year? No, this is the one podcast you and I kind of say thank you, not only to the listeners of the show, but kind of just what we're thankful for in our baseball lives, right? I mean, we have a lot of other things going on in our life, but this is something that's been pretty consistent. Give me your top 5 with an honorable mention. What you're most thankful for?
Yeah,
we'll get a nice little background music when we do the editing.
Cool. Okay. I'll start with honorable mention and work my way up. Starting with my honorable mention, I put in Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani, just 2 generational players. They're both back-to-back MVPs. Judge has won 3 of the last 4. Ohtani's won 4 of the last 5. We're literally seeing, some of the greatest players, not just in our generation, but potentially, of all time, and we get to watch them, play their careers out. So I just think that's fantastic to see. Number 5 for me is the Seattle Mariners and their return to success. I mean, they came within, a game of getting to the World Series. Toronto knocked them out, but it was good to see them get over that hump and finally win a playoff series again. They hadn't done that since the Ichiro years in the early 2000s. And I love what this team's doing, especially with bringing back Josh Naylor. Julio Rodriguez seems to have been figuring it out. Love their pitching with George Kirby, among others. And obviously the big dumper, you can't deny what he's been doing here. So right. I loved Seattle. The future's bright for them. And piggybacking on the big dumper, I'm going to go with number 4 is Cal Raleigh in the best season ever as a catcher. It's a guy who shattered records for most home runs in a season for a catcher. RBIs, average. So, it was okay, but still just, even what he did behind the plate with the no pass balls and just, just a great year for a catcher. Could have been an MVP, but, Aaron Judge.
Could have been
He could have been. Exactly. But just a great year for him. Hopefully he can follow it up. I don't know if he's going to follow up 60 home runs, but we'll see what happens here. I bet if you go on Bovada, he's definitely going to be one of those MVP favorites for the 2026 season. Moving in for me at number 3, watching our aging players and approaching milestones. You got Giancarlo Stanton getting close to 500 home runs. JV got his 3,500 strikeout this season. We'll see his continued rise. Max Scherzer, all he's doing. So just watching our aging players, which seems weird that they're aging because we watch these players come in. It seems like just yesterday, but just watching them complete their careers and continue to still get stuff done.
Yeah.
Number 2 for me is Paul Skeens and just his pitching dominance. Rookie of the year last year, Cy Young Award winner this year. Just sucks that he pitches for the Pirates because they can't give him any run support. Truly, we're seeing potentially a generational pitcher here. Continue to keep it up here, and talk about faces of MLB and sports in general. I think he's one of them. We'll see what happens in Pittsburgh. They're going to probably dump him before they pay him. So, but just watching him on a day-to-day basis here is just fantastic to see. And number 1, I'm most thankful for you, buddy, and our continued growth of our podcast. Moving into video here and hopefully bringing on some sponsorship and growing the brand in general with YouTube clips and Instagram and just continued growth here. It's we're on 4 or 5 years doing this, and we're still loving it. So I'm very thankful for you and this show. So that's my top 5.
Great top 5.
Thanks.
Couldn't have said any better myself. I mean, we saw some great stuff this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there's obviously more to come. I mean, with some of these great teams, how my honorable mention, Steve, I'm going to be a homer and say the 25 Detroit Tigers. They were, I think, one of my top 3 last year for how far they made it. They went to the ALDS, they got ousted, but again, a close match,
18 innings.
Yeah, man. It was, I mean, you and I think we reserve the right to bitch about them a lot just because we expect more because, they are, we're big fans of the Detroit Tigers. But I am thankful that they got as far as they got. Yep. Whether that's going to continue next year, hard to say. You hope the offense is a little better for sure in the bullpen, but which kind of fell off. But, one thing I do like about the Tigers is they don't really quit. I mean, they're going to, for some reason, they just have some of these miraculous games where it's like, okay, wow, they're really shit in the bed here the first, 1 game or 2 games, and then they come back and it's like, oh, wow. And that really does drive you fucking insane. But at the end of it, you're kind of like, man, at least we're not bottom feeders anymore. Yep. And I think I'm more thankful that we're not bottom feeders than anything else. It's better that we're winning. It's kind of like being a Lions fan, right? We were just so shitty for so long. And even it's like, yeah, they're not having the greatest year, but they're having a way better year than they've been. Our year this year, it would have been a fucking godsend, when
we're pissed
coming
off
of fucking 0-16.
Pissed off at 7-4 now when we've been used to 4-13, 4-12 seasons. So,
yeah, dude. I mean, and look at the Pistons. I mean, I guess I'm just very thankful for Detroit sports in general. Even though they give us heartaches, it could be a lot worse off. I'm not saying let's settle on mediocrity, but at least there's signs of light behind it, especially with the Tigers, right? Sure. So definitely thankful. Number 5, I'm going kind of echoing what Steve said. Aaron Judge and Ohtani star power, man. Faces of the MLB. You and I talked about the WPBL with Kelsie Whitmore and just what they're going to need to do to make that a successful league. And I think Major League Baseball has a blueprint, obviously, and it's led behind Ohtani and Aaron Judge. And I think that's good. I think that's really good. You need those top guys in the game. You look at basketball back in the day; they had Jordan, and then then the torch got passed to LeBron and Kobe, and you just have that. Yeah, football, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, you have certain guys that lead the league, and I think that's important on a marketing standpoint. Of course, you get spoiled when you have nothing but stars, right? I mean, football had it for a long time with Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. I mean, you had so many good ones. I mean, Drew Brees. You had so many good. It was like a golden age of quarterbacks, right? And I think with baseball, I think you're in a good era with baseball right now. You have great stars. I mean, Machado's out there. You have Juan Soto. I mean, the list goes on and on of some of the greats that are in the game right now. And I'm very thankful that they have a blueprint and it's not like it just started. It's been going on for a handful of years now. And I'm really happy that baseball is just kind of coming out on their own, right? Like we are a popular sport. Number 4 for me is the Blue Jays rebuild finally paying off. They finally got the blueprint that what kind of what a lot of teams have been doing, like the Houston Astros. When the Houston Astros are really shitty, it started with Altuve, and they just skyrocketed, right? And those early teens and the late teens, that's where you've seen them become kind of like a mini dynasty, and you see other teams trying to follow in their footsteps, right? I think Kansas City has followed in their footsteps in terms of rebuilding. I think Colorado, I think Detroit, I think you see a lot of these teams where it's like, let's rebuild from prospects and see. And these are franchises that don't just sell their prospects like the Pittsburgh Pirates. It's not like, let's get them where we need them and then sell them for parts. I mean, the Blue Jays said, no, we're going to develop. And they found 2 stars in Vlad and Bichette, and they said, we got to rebuild. We're going to building around these guys. And it was looking like Bichette wasn't going to be a part of that equation, especially after they signed Vlad and Bichette was coming off of kind of a slower year. But then he took off this year, and I think if Toronto was smart, they would lock him up so it could be the Robin to Vlad's Batman, right? So definitely thankful for the Blue Jays and finally Toronto having a winning franchise. I think I was so happy that they got as far as they went, and it didn't work out in the end, but I think they will be back. And because they were just so like the last year was like, come on, you guys took like 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. And this year they finally figured it out. And I think they got an equation to finally turn it around. I do think there's some flash in the pans there. I think George Springer was kind of a bad contract because I don't think he'll be good next year. Let's hope we can look back at this clip and be like, could you believe Dalt said that he was fucking not going to be good next year? I mean, if you go on Bovada Sports, I don't even think a lot of people for early World Series odds put the Blue Jays in the top 2 or top 3. And I think a lot of people would agree with me that I just don't think that a lot of people think that they won't repeat, but I think they'll eventually be back there. But I think it's going to have to be off the backs of their prospects, the way they kind of did it, with sprinkling some free agents in there. So definitely thankful for them, Steve. Number 3, the Japanese Stars pipeline to the MLB.
Yes,
I think you're going to get a lot of people that overbuy, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think that's a really good thing for baseball because Masataka Yoshida, I think he's a solid player in Major League Baseball. Was he the star people thought he would be? Probably not, but I still think he deserves some fucking props. Jung-Hoo Lee coming out of the KBO, I think that's another guy. Like, he's a table setter, right? Is he going to be like Pete Crow Armstrong? No, I don't think he's that kind of guy, but I think he's more of enhanced Parker Meadows, which, like we wish Parker Meadows was that, right?
Parker Meadows.
But I do think the pipelines of the Japanese Stars and KBO Stars, I think it really it's been great. Seiya Suzuki coming in, Kodai Senga, some of those guys. You got a next wave, and I'm very thankful for him, man. I mean, did you see what Tatsuya Imai said? That he wants to beat the Dodgers?
Yeah, I did.
Because he's the top pitcher coming out of the MPB. He's like, yeah, let's like. But then most people,
with the Dodgers.
That's what everybody said. They're like, watch that piece of shit sign at the Dodgers. You can't beat him, join him. Yep. Yeah, I was laughing too. I was like, watch that piece of shit sign at the Dodgers. And then Murakami, a lot of people think he might be the next Ohtani, which everybody's going to be compared to Ohtani coming out of Japan, which I think might be semi-racist if you're a white person saying it or a black person, but I think I don't think he's Ohtani, but I think he has Ohtani power, which is really good. You got Kazuma Okamoto, another third baseman, which is really good. So I'm really excited. I'm really thankful for the Japanese Stars and their push into Major League Baseball because the World Series is supposed to be known as a World Series. That's what makes it you're grabbing stars from all over the world. And I think that's what truly, in the essence, make it a World Series.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, number 2 for me is Nick Kurtz's fast rise. I mean, my loss was Joe Kelly's game, and when I dropped him in the pool, I knew he would be good, dropped him a little too soon, didn't think he'd take off as he did. But the reason why I'm thankful for Nick Kurtz and his fast rise, it shows that the youth doesn't have to stay stuck in the minors for years.
Yep, for sure.
That's what I'm very thankful for. Thank God that they don't have to stay stuck in the minors for years. I mean, it happens, right? But every once in a while, you get like a Dixon Machado. It's like, yeah, I've been pushing 8 years here. And then you come up, I know there's a poll. Then you're just like, oh, you've been how long in the minors? And then you come up and you just shit the bed. And you're like, wow, you must spend a decade in the minors for what?
Stephen Moya. Hate to keep talking Tigers, but yeah.
Matt Manning, stuck in the minors. Yep. Gets up for a couple spot starts, doesn't do good, back down. Almost like a lifer in the minors. And it's just, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. But Nick Kurtz, people like him, and then you had Shanuel and some of those guys who just fucking rise from the minors fast too. And I love seeing it, dude. And I mean, this guy just rose, and he didn't start the season in the majors, and he ends up winning the Rookie of the Year. I mean, the bright future for him in Oakland. And this is a guy that's going to be a star for Oakland for the A's when they move to Vegas. I think you ride it off the back of Nick Kurtz for sure. So I'm thankful for that. And then last but not least, Sam, man, I'm incredibly thankful for our pod. I mean, we're 240 episodes in.
Jeez.
Or what? We're on our 4th, going on our 5th season.
Yep.
I mean, we've been at it a long time. It's always been a fun podcast. It was something we started for fun. It's still for fun. Yeah, it's growing pretty good, and we appreciate the fan or the viewer base. I appreciate just the comments and the words of encouragement, and we keep evolving, and I think that's something that is, it's hard always keeping the same thing in life. I mean, we're meant as humans to evolve, and I think that's always going to be this show. We're always going to evolve. We're always going to keep doing other stuff. So you'll probably see more guests. You'll probably see more, you're going to start hearing us talk ads and things like that more. And that's just the natural progression of any podcast. But that is growing. And for us, man, I'm just happy to keep doing it. I'm thankful to keep rocking and rolling with it. And it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun, man. I mean,
so much fun.
And I think we're just incredibly consistent. And you could tell, like, anybody that listens to us, they're like, oh, well, people that I run into, or they'll always say, you can tell you guys are friends, which is really cool. And you can tell you guys really love baseball. And I think that's like a huge compliment. It's like, fuck yeah, dude. Because that's what we want to come across. You know what I mean?
They don't want to be stiff, and people that don't know what the fuck they're talking about. That wouldn't be fun for anybody. Or people that just hate each other like Rod and Mario, and then they end up beating the shit out of each other after.
Which I wish that was on camera, because that would have been fucking all the time. I think they would have had something there.
Oh boy.
So yeah, definitely thankful for that, dude. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. So that's what I'm thankful for.
Yeah. Love it. Love the list. I always look forward to this segment, and continue to grow and just see where we're at, thankful wise, in another year. So
yeah, absolutely, bro.
Well, with that, shall we head on over to Collection Corner?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
What do you got going on?
This one's pretty easy, I think, for you, because it's a guy I've talked about.
I'm glad you chose easy, because mine's actually a hard one.
Well, I wanted to be easy because it's the holiday. Yeah, I could basically say one clue here, and I think you'll get it, because this is a guy I talked about before, I think a couple months ago. But he's seemed to be going with this trend. He's played for one team. He played for one team his entire career, and I won't mention that team quite yet. Career 338 average, 3,141 hits, 135 home runs, 1,138 runs batted in, 15-time All-Star, a 5-time Gold Glove Award winner, 7-time Silver Slugger Award winner, 8-time NL batting champion. That should give something away.
Wow.
His number is retired by his team that he played for his whole career. He's part of this team's Hall of Fame and baseball's Hall of Fame, first ballot in 2007. Let's see. In the World Series, I believe he was the last out for the Tigers. And he liked to
the last out for the Tigers.
Yeah. So he was up to bat there.
So he played for the Tigers?
He played for the Padres, 84 World Series.
For the Padres.
Yeah, popped out to Herndon last out there. Really enjoyed the Chaw. Nickname is Mr. Padre.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also played basketball too, so that was pretty dope.
Yeah. Passed away?
He did pass away in 2014. Yep.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it was just a surprise to everybody.
It was. Yeah.
Tony Gwynn.
It is Tony Gwynn. Yep.
We haven't talked about Tony in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a couple of months there, but the card I went with here is from 2024. It's one of those great 1989 lookalike cards, silver refractor, going right now, last sold online for 76 whole cents, but usually goes for a couple of bucks here. So Tony Gwynn, what do you got for me?
I love Tony Gwynn. Okay, man. Boy. Oh, Steve, I can't remember the last time we even talked about this guy, to be honest. I don't even know if we brought him up maybe more than once in passing.
Okay.
I don't think he'd be a forgotten series guy, just because he could be. But we'll see. Boy. Okay. And the only reason I picked him because we just never talked about him, and this guy has taken some props. Okay, here we go. Okay. He's a former Oakland A pitching legend.
Okay.
He's in their Hall of Fame, and they retired his number 34. I'd easily threw that in there because it could be anybody. In his career, he played for the Dodgers, who he started with and was drafted by them in the 75 draft in the 16th round.
Okay.
Played for the Rangers, the Blue Jays, and the Phillies. He even coached a little after, but didn't stay in it long. Instead, started a sports agency and even was a GM for the Diamondbacks in 2014.
Okay.
Today, he is back with the Oakland A's, or I would say Oakland. I'm just so used to it. He's back with the A's.
They should be the Oakland A's, all right?
I wish, yeah. But he's in their front office. As a pitcher, Steve, he was 168 and 129, so 168 wins, 129 losses. A 3.95 ERA, strikeouts 1,741. He won 20 games in 4 consecutive seasons. A one-time All-Star back in 89, 3-time World Series champ in 81, 89, and 93. World Series MVP in 89, 2-time ALCS MVP in 1990 and 1993. AL wins leader in 87. Pitched 1 no-no in his career on June 29th of 1990. A little trivia on him. He pitched a complete game shutout against the San Francisco Giants in 1989. Then the Bay Area earthquake happened that struck during the game, which was supposed to be game 3, which halted the series. 10 days later, he ended up starting that game that was postponed and picked up his second win of the series, helping his A's sweep the Giants in 4 games, which earned him with MVP honors of that series. Who is he?
Man, this is a guy that we don't talk about too much, and hopefully I'm right as I set myself up here. Is it Dave Stewart?
It's Dave Stewart.
Nice. Yeah.
Steve, I can't even remember the last time we talked about Dave Stewart.
Dave Stewart, he perfected himself really since when he got to Oakland and stuff, because he was kind of rocky a bit. I remember, because I watch old baseball games for fun. He was the starting pitcher in 1985, home opener for the Tigers, coming off the World Series when they played Texas. He was the starting pitcher that day, and kind of got.
I mean, you remember the mid '80s to the early '90s. It was like people like him and Jack Morris were like the top pitchers. People were talking about like them, Fernando Valenzuela, all those guys. So I ended up picking a pretty recent Dave Stewart card. Is 2022 Topps Allen and Ginter Dave Stewart.
Oh, you see, you pull the Allen and Ginters a lot. That's pretty good.
Yeah, you know what? And to be honest, I don't even like Allen and Ginter.
I don't either.
I'm not a big fan. No. I thought I would like Allen and Ginter. I hate when they throw random stuff in there, like a celebrity or
a random some toy or something,
cheerleader or some bullshit. Yeah.
Or when they do the different sizes too. I'm like, guys, just like you get the small cards, like the T209 type things, which that's great. But when I'm trying to put them in my sleeves, it's like this doesn't work for me. All right.
Oh, dude, and then when I put it in my sleeve, I gotta put a piece of tape on the top so it doesn't fall out. So I picked an Allen and Ginter card. This is actually a full size one. Goes between $1.10 and $2, so it's a pretty cheap ass card. But Dave Stewart,
man,
up 2.7% currently.
Okay. Well, speaking of a guy that Fox, shall we get the candles out and celebrate a birthday?
All right, Stewart.
All right. Looking online for this guy, any of his like really old cards would go for a lot of money, and any of his cards in general would go for a lot of money. I looked for one that I like. It says 2006. I believe it's a 2006 Upper Deck relic, bat relic, which is really dope. None other than a Joe DiMaggio. So it's a heavenly birthday to Yankee great and Hall of Famer Joe DiMaggio, born on November the 25th of 1914.
Nice.
Career batting average. This guy is a Hall of Famer. No veterans committee for this guy, but career 325 batting average, 2,214 hits, 361 home runs, 1,537 RBIs. Spent his entire career with the New York Yankees. Did one stint as a coach for Oakland, 1968 to 69. He was a 13-time All-Star, 9-time World Series champion, 3-time AL MVP, 2-time AL batting champion, 2-time AL home run leader, 2-time AL RBI leader, and of course had his major league record 56-game hitting streak. His number 5 is retired by the Yankees. He's in their Monument Park. Major League Baseball's All-Century team. Inducted in the Hall of Fame in 1955. Believe it or not, on his 4th ballot. It took till his 4th ballot to get in. Can you fucking believe that? Yet some of these fuckers in the Veterans Committee is like, yeah, they get in. So,
but Joe, I don't think Joe had a lot of friends, man. I really don't.
Yeah, except for Marilyn Monroe, right?
That's off.
Yeah,
that's off.
So a little trivia on Joe DiMaggio. His 9 career World Series rings put him second only to his fellow Yankee Yogi Berra, who won 10.
If Joe was alive today and played like he played, I mean, on Bovada, that would be an easy. If you're betting like prop bets or anything like that, that's an easy. He's going to get a hit. He's going to get
every
a hit.
time.
Dude, the guy was just a hitting machine with power, which is just. I mean, come on.
Yep. Yeah. So happy heavenly birthday to Joe DiMaggio.
Well, happy birthday, you son of a bitch.
There we go.
That's a fucking show.
Good show. I was going to say, and he, speaking of branding himself, like we talked about the Women's Professional Baseball League, he branded himself very well even after the game, with all of his Mr. Coffee and spokesman and all that. So, yeah, made a nice career of that following baseball.
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at those old-time endorsements, right? I mean, you were getting, coffee, you were getting a lot of different kind of shit. Tobacco was huge.
Yep. So.
Can you imagine a Major League Baseball player today fucking being the face of a tobacco company?
No, Lucky Strikes.
Oh my God. How Jim Leland didn't jump on that.
Right? The face of Marlboro.
Yeah. I mean, come on. I mean, it just speaks for itself. Dude.
It does, yeah.
Sells itself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. But it's a fucking show indeed.
Good show.
Tune in next week. We'll probably have a guest next week. We were supposed to be this week, but it's hard. Thanksgiving week is really hard.
It's a busy week for a lot of people. A lot of people
really
busy
week for a lot of people. Yeah, man. I mean, it's a busy fucking week.
But, we found time for the show, so that's what counts. All right.
Yeah. We always do it again. Yeah, I mean, our time off will be the last week.
Usually the last week of December. Yeah. Yep.
Which is coming soon too. When you think about it, December's coming up and. I'm already listening to Christmas music.
It's been on for me for almost a month, so
yeah, I got to catch up because
I've even started watching the movies too. So there you go.
Well, I got to catch up on that. Yeah, there's some. I mean, obviously some all time. Every year I watched Family Man.
You told me about that one. I never watched that until I think it was last year. So you told me about it, and it's fucking sweet.
It makes me tear up every fucking year. Yeah. I don't know why.
Jack
it
Frost.
Just hits me.
You like Jack Frost, right?
I like Jack Frost. I do. But Michael Keaton really pisses me off in that movie.
Right?
And his kid is fucking annoying. What is it with these annoying kids? Remember the Santa Claus with Tim Allen?
Girl?
The girl, but the kid, Charlie?
Charlie, yeah.
That kid never listened.
No, you really
If any kid needed a paddle, it was that. That kid needed to be spanked.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There was like that girl when Santa got arrested there. She's like, oh, don't arrest Santa. I'm like, God, can your acting be any worse? Come on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She was bad too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There was some bad ones. Maybe we should do a countdown list of all time shitty fucking
child actors.
Child actors. Christmas edition.
Oh, God, that'd be good.
Best child actor for Christmas edition was Johnny what's his face? He was on Big Bang Theory.
Johnny Galecki. Yeah, when he played Russ and
the best Russ there was, in my opinion.
Well,
I think Michael Hall is pretty dope, but
yeah.
But as for Christmas, come on,
yeah,
right?
And that was before he was an unknown really at that point, right? And then,
he was
had the Roseanne thing happen, and then Big Bang after that.
Fucking just took off,
Yep.
but
now he doesn't even really act anymore. He's focused on his family. You notice that he's really just got himself.
Well, yeah, he's making like a 20, fucking how many million an episode?
And plus now the residuals from syndication. He doesn't probably have to work ever again if he doesn't want to.
Dude, good for that. And I heard he's a good dude in real life. So it's cool when like good people win.
Yeah, I think he lives in the Midwest and just raising his family now, like out of the spotlight.
That's so dope. Yeah, well, Jesse Eisenberg does that too. He lives in Indiana. Sorry for Indiana. Oh,
Sorry for Indiana.
No,
as bad as Ohio.
But armpit of the Midwest. No, sorry for our Ohio people. We're just we're Michigan guys. We just judge everybody.
Yeah, that's how we do it.
But thank you guys so much for listening. In the meantime, guys, have a great week. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
and we'll catch you guys all next week.
Deuces.